Alrighty, well, good afternoon and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Andrew Doffney. I'm the Introduction and Outreach Librarian at the New Jersey State Library. And it is my pleasure to present today Samantha Benson, who is going to be our chair yoga instructor. Samantha is a 200-hour registered yoga teacher, having completed her training at Lotus Yoga in Montclair, New Jersey. She is currently pursuing her 500-hour teacher training certification at Yoga Stream in Princeton. She has been practicing yoga for over 20 years and owns a gym with her husband that's called Metabolic Functional Fitness. In addition to teaching 3 classes a week at John's gym, Samantha also teaches hot power yoga, or teaches at a hot power yoga studio in Ewing called Empower. So, well, thank you, Samantha, for doing this for us today. Hopefully we'll be able to relax ourselves, relieve a little bit of stress, and feel a little bit more rejuvenated after this. So before we get started, just a few housekeeping items to go over. First and foremost, if you have any questions about what she's doing or recommendations or anything, you can certainly submit them into the questions box, and we'll take some time at the end to answer any of your questions that you may have. There is a survey for this, so if you could please complete that, that would be fantastic. We always appreciate any feedback that you have. For those of you who might be a little bit unfamiliar with the GoToWebinar dashboard, this is what it should look like if you're using a desktop or a laptop. If you're using a mobile device, it's going to look a little bit different depending on the device you're using, but the features will still be there. If you can always check your computer audio here to make sure that it's correctly working. If there are issues, you can either use this raise hand button to get in touch with me if you have anything, or you can just send your questions, whether they're for Samantha or for myself, and using this questions box here, type it in, hit send, and we'd be happy to answer that. So without further ado, then I'm going to turn it over to Samantha to get us started.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everybody. I just have to make a small correction. It's not, Andrew, it's not your fault. I forgot to tell you, I'm actually switched my 500 hours to another school, but anyway, another way for it's accurate. So we're gonna start, so I'm gonna assume that everybody has a chair set up. Other than a chair, the only thing that you may need or may not need is maybe a towel if you happen to break a sweat, or just we might use it for something. But otherwise, I do invite you to take off your shoes and socks if you wish, but obviously you don't have to. And depending on where you are, I mean, you may not be able to. But okay, and obviously just having something on hand to drink. So. Okay, so we're just going to get started by sitting up nice and tall, making sure that your feet are flat on the floor. All 10 toes have their own separate spot on the mat or on your floor. And just, you can close the eyes, and you can just start to take some deep breaths, beginning to grow tall through the spine. And if you don't wish to close the eyes, you can just keep the gaze soft and lowered. And we're just going to take a few breaths in and out, just slowly beginning to elongate the breath. And we'll just take a few on our own. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And then we're going to begin to change our breathing just slightly to something called an Ujjayi breath, which is Sanskrit for victorious breath, where we're going to inhale and exhale through our nose only. So we'll do a couple together. We'll keep the mouth or our lips closed, but our teeth soft and separated. We're going to inhale through the nose. And then we're going to exhale through the nose, but keeping the back of the throat nice and soft. So you should feel the breath along the back of your throat. So it should almost sound like if you picked up a seashell in the ocean and held it to your ear. That should be the sound that you're hearing coming from you. So doing a few more on your own, inhaling through the nose and out through the nose. And now we're going to start to make those breaths a little bit longer. So perhaps counting silently on your own to 4 on the inhale, and then 6 on the exhale, making that just a little bit longer. So inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. More time. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allowing the eyes to maybe gently open, but allowing the gaze to remain soft here. Releasing the arms and then extending them all the way up towards the ceiling. Good, taking a big giant breath here and extending each finger up towards the ceiling as you press down through the feet. Good, exhale, release the arms down. We're gonna do that again, inhale. Good, again, thinking about getting long through your side body. Good, and release. We'll do that one more time and hold. Good, and we're gonna make 2 fists here, and then we're gonna bring those fists down towards our forearms. And we're gonna tighten those fists. Tight, 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 tight. And then just like you were flicking water, you're just gonna flick the fingers open. We're just gonna do that a couple more times. So making a tight fist, and then flicking the water off. And maybe extending the wrist back one more time. Nice. And then lowering the arms down, but the palms face the ceiling. Nice. We're going to take the right hand. So you're doing the opposite of me, or the same if you just want to do the opposite side. We're just going to pull those fingers back, and you can use the opposite thumb to kind of press the palm up and then open out through the thumb. Good. And then turn the arm so it's neutral and just gently pull back on that swiping finger. And then we'll switch sides. Good, and then we'll rotate the arm and just pull gently back on the thumb. Nice. Good, so you guys are gonna stay where you are. Just gonna turn around so you can see the arm movement that I'm doing here. So you're gonna bring your right arm behind your back, so you're still seated forward so that you have the space. Left arm is reaching back. So you may be able to touch fingers or even bind, that's fine. And then we're just going to reach up and down and then switch sides. Good, so left arm is up the back, the palm facing out, and right arm is through. So you're reaching up through the right elbow and down through the left. And then we're gonna switch. And we're gonna keep switching. So you're doing exactly what we just did. You're just sitting. Nice. There's actually a name for this called Gomukhasana. Nice, keep going. Try to get as expansive as you can. Nice, and then when the right arm comes behind you, we're gonna stay there. And we're gonna take the left arm, and it's fine if you're doing the opposite and mirroring me. We're just gonna draw the ear towards the shoulder. Making sure that the shoulder is not meeting the ear, it's just the ear coming down to the shoulder. And then we're going to switch sides. So gently assisting the head back up and then extending out. Left arm comes behind the back. Right hand gently draws the right ear to the shoulder. If you're doing the opposite side, that's fine. Good. And then gently allow the head to come back up to neutral. Bring your hands to your thighs. Good. And then we're going to draw our ribs to the right or left, and then draw them forward, and then to the other side. So we're just making these little rib circles and back, kind of slurping the belly in as you come back into the other side. Nice. So we're just getting some movement in the thoracic spine. So we have three main segments to the spine: the cervical spine, the thoracic spine, and the lumbar spine. Switch the direction. The cervical is our neck, which then meets the thoracic, which runs through our ribs and then to the lumbar. It's an area that tends to get tight, and we tend to lose mobility here as we get older. Good. So we're just going to take us to some what we call cat-cows. So basically, you're arching the back. You can gaze up if it's okay on the neck. Otherwise, you can just keep the neck neutral. And then we're going to slurp back, kind of like an angry cat. So if your hands, imagine your hands and knees were on the floor, pressing away. Right? That's the motion. It's just going at your own pace, arching and rounding. Good. Make sure you're moving through the pelvis also, even though you're sitting. Feel it kind of going back and forth. Using your breath here, inhale and exhale. Good, and then just go ahead and extend the right leg forward, or like I said, if you want to mirror me and do the left, that's fine. Good, and you can just kind of hold on to the side of your chair. Nice, and just take some circles with that right ankle in any direction. This will be the last thing we do before we get back till we get up on our feet. Nice, so pointing and flexing a few times. See if you can actually separate the toes and see through the toes, even between the pinky toe and the next toe in. See if you can get some separation there. Good, and then switch sides. Good, and then just taking those circles here with the opposite ankle, pointing and flexing a few times. Good, separating the toes. Good, and then before we get up, if it feels good to bring the top of the toes down and just kind of like you're making like a little, I know maybe hard to see, almost like you're making like a little C. I'm doing it with the other foot here. And since we are in the middle of the summer, it's actually really good for your feet if you do spend a lot of time at the beach. So just kind of use your toes to kind of grasp sand, pick it up, and then like release it. It's excellent for your feet. So it's a good reason to take off work and go to the beach. Okay. So we are going to come to stand, and we're going to use the belly of our chair, for lack of a better word, so the seat of our chair. And we are going to face the seat of our chair. And I know we all might have slightly different chairs, so if it happens to work better at a different angle or from a different side of the chair, but you want to be able to kind of bend over and have a fairly flat back. Feet are going to be about hip width apart, a neutral stance or athletic stance, so soft knees. And we're going to do exactly what we were just doing. We're going to take those cat-cows. So I'm drawing my shoulders back, extending my heart forward, maybe looking up a little bit. And then exhale, pulling the belly in, pressing the chair away. Maybe the legs straighten a little bit and round all the way up the spine. And we're just going to do that a few more times. And if you happen to be at a desk and that works better, maybe taller. Make sure you're inhaling as you extend out and exhale as you round. Nice. We're going to come to a neutral spine here. We're going to keep our left hand on the chair, and we're going to bring our right arm behind our head, almost like you're about to do core. Good. And then we're going to bring that right elbow up. Nice. So as much as it opens, maybe your range of motion is a little bit less or a little bit more. And then we're going to bring that right elbow to the left elbow. Good. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Good. Exhale, close. Just give me a couple more here. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Last one, and we're going to hold. We're going to hold it right here, and we're going to extend that arm and bring it to our low back. Good. So make sure that hand is nice and flat on that low back, and you're just peeling open from the chest. Nice. Good. You can always look down at your hand if it's a lot on the neck to gaze up. You don't have to gaze up. Good. And then slowly close, bringing the right hand back down. We're going to bring the right foot forward before we get to the other side. And bring the left leg slightly back. Good. And we're on two separate tracks. So what does that mean? That means instead of being on a tightrope, we're on, like, let's say skis, right? So we want to draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Nice. Good. And then we can come down any amount. So maybe the forearms come down to the seat of the chair. Maybe even the hands come down. Maybe they come down to the base of the chair. So you can hold on here. And you should feel this in the back of your right leg. Maybe in your left calf. I just don't feel that, but. Good. And then maybe walk the hands up a little bit and then bend the back knee slightly as you lean into that left glute and flex that right foot. So you're drawing those right toes towards you. So now you should definitely feel this in the right calf. Good. You could always even bring your foot to the base of the chair and lean forward if you want more intensity. Good. And then release the foot down. Good. And then just bring your left foot to meet your right. And you can kind of reset here for a moment. Good. Maybe take a cat-cow or two, and then we'll get started on the other side. So stay where you are. I'm just going to switch my chair just so I'm opening up in your direction. Good. So right hand is going to stay on the chair. You can always move it a little bit more towards center if you prefer. Left hand is going to come behind the head. Inhale, open up. Good. Exhale, close. Good. Keep going on your own. And as you do that, think about really pressing down through the right arm and pressing that right, almost like you're pressing that right shoulder blade into the back body. So it's not all wobbly. You're nice and supported and stable here. Good. It's almost like you're isometrically turning your right hand clockwise. That makes sense. Good. So we're going to hold this last lift. Good. Extend the left arm. Nice. Bring it to the low back. Good. And just stay open here. Breathing. Pressing down evenly through both feet. Maybe releasing the head or just looking down. Good. And then slowly come back, release the left hand to the chair. Good. And we're gonna take our pyramid pose, is actually what it was called. I don't know if I said that. So we're gonna take the left foot forward, unless you did the opposite way. And we're gonna again make sure that we're on two separate tracks. Squaring the hip. So I like to think about really pressing down through the big toe mound of my left foot. Good. And then maybe you come down to the forearms, maybe the floor, maybe the chair, right? So we're using everything that the chair has offered because that is our prop. So if you've ever taken a yoga class at a studio, there's lots of props, blocks, straps, but in chair yoga, the chair is our prop. Okay, we're going to move this into a calf stretch. So sitting into our back glute and lifting the front foot. Good, and then slowly release. Nice. And step the right foot forward to meet the left. And this time we are going to, so you're going to have an option here to either face away from the chair or face the chair. So I would say let's all just face the chair, that way it's there if we need it. And obviously you're welcome to do whatever it is that you want, but we are going to turn our toes out, heels in. So you guys are facing the chair. I'm going to face you. And we're going to bend at the knees and come to what we call a goddess squat. And then we're going to bring our arms to a goalpost here. Nice. So you don't have to come this wide, but you can. Good. And think about drawing the tailbone down, but opening up through the inner thighs so that the knees are tracking the toes, ideally between the second and third toe. But so you're really trying to open up here. So we're going to goalpost those arms. Good. You guys can mirror me or start with the right side as we kind of bring the elbow into the side body, extend the arm out into this lateral stretch. Good. Switching sides. Good. We're going to alternate here. Good. Maybe each time you get a little bit more extension. Nice. Two more. And then we'll bring the hands to the thighs, just like you were coaching a little league game. Nice. And then we're just going to dip that left shoulder, keeping those thighs out, and just gaze over the right. Good. Keep nice and stable through the hips and switch sides. And we'll switch sides again. Nice. One more time. Good. And coming to center. Good. And coming all the way up. Good. You keep the legs where they are. We're going to take either arm, doesn't matter. I'm just going to draw it across the chest. Nice. Reaching through those fingers and maybe gazing over the shoulder. So whichever arm is extended out, just gazing over that shoulder. Switching sides. And releasing that. Good. So you may want to definitely face the chair for this next pose. We're going to draw our toes in. We're going to come to a forward fold. But now if you have the chair here, you don't have to come all the way down to the floor. You can come down here, here even, you can come to the back of the chair, or you can come all the way down. So whatever feels good. Yes, this is just, obviously it's a hamstring stretch because we're doing a forward fold, but with our legs wide, we're also getting an adductor stretch. So those are our inner thigh muscles. There's one in particular that kind of aids in like hamstring type movements as well. So you're stretching that one. Good, so from here, and again, you can do this with your hands on the chair, we're just gonna take some side lunges. So it's basically just a real gentle, active inner thigh stretch. Good, so toes may need to be turned out slightly. Good, and then we're gonna hold it to the right. Nice, good, maybe the left toes turn up. And you could also do this with one butt on the chair. So many options. And then we're gonna come to the other side. Nice. Good, so heel toe the feet in. And this time we are going to use the back of the chair. So you can either just move the chair or move yourself. Take hydration breaks as needed. I wish I could say it was a beer break, like our last lunch and learn, but it's just water. Okay. Okay, so we're facing the back of the chair so that we have something to hold on to if we need it, and you don't have to. We're gonna take one leg back, so I'm gonna start with my right leg. So my left leg is forward, my right leg is back. Nice, good. And then I'm pressing down through those back toes and using that back glute to press my right hip forward a little bit, kind of creating that stretch in the front of the hip. So hopefully you feel that. Good, then we're gonna bring our arms overhead, take opposite elbows or as close there as you can, and just gently pull up. Good. And then the right hand is going to come back behind the back, just like we did at the very beginning of class. And we're going to take that neck stretch again. And if you need to hold on and just tilt the head, you can. Good. And then release the head back to neutral. Nice. We're going to start to bring the right knee in and then press back through the back of the knee. Good. So just adding some bicep curls here. Nice. Good. And adding just a little bit more, kind of a moving stretch here. Nice. Good. And then hold on to the back of the chair and place the right foot down. So before our back heel was lifted, now our back heel is down. Our right toes are pointed slightly out, so almost like it's pointed towards the upper right-hand corner of your mat, if you're using a mat. Good. Now we're gonna bring our arms to a goalpost. Good. We're gonna twist to the left, so we're not moving our hips, and then come back to center. Twist to the left, back to center. Twist to the left, back to center. Twist to the left, back to center one more time. Good, stay here, bringing the fingertips to the shoulders and just taking some backward circles here. Yep, you might hear or feel some crunchy sounds. It's okay. Nice, good, and then release. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe take a slight back bend. Good. And exhale, come forward. Bring your right leg to meet your left. Good. Shake it out if you need. Good. And then actually, before we get to the other side, I'm going to turn around and face you. We're going to take a quick balance. So again, the back of the chair is there. We're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. And then we're going to turn it out. So you can also just stay here. And this can be your tree. That's the name of the pose. And then we're going to bring our right foot either to the left thigh. That's not available. Fine, that's fine. Just bring it down here. It's just like a little kickstand. So as long as it's not right on the knee, you're good. And then once it's wherever it's going to be, you're going to press equally through both sides. So my right foot is pressing into my thigh, but my thigh is also pressing into my foot. That's what's preventing this from happening, right? Good. And then arms can either stay down or can lift up. Taking one more breath here. And release. Good, shake it out. Bring your left knee into your chest. Bring it out here. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you come to a kickstand. Maybe you have a little bit more range of motion, comes up a little bit higher, wherever it is. Squeeze it in, and then decide what you want to do with your arms. Some days, your balance can be spot on. Other days, the same pose can have you bending and doing all sorts of crazy things just to stay upright. So good. And then slowly release the foot. Good. So if you turned around, just turn back. Good. And we're going to find that crescent lunge again. So left foot comes back. Good. Lift that back heel, unless you did the other side. Good. Nice. So we're, again, squeezing that left glute, kind of pressing that hip forward, finding opposite elbows. Good. And then pulling up. Good. Ideally, we want a deep bend in the front leg, but, you know, whatever you're feeling here. Good. Left arm is going to come behind the head. I mean, behind the back, sorry. Right hand is going to gently pull the right ear to the right shoulder. The balance is suffering, you can hold on and just allow the head to kind of tilt. Good, and then bringing it up to neutral and adding that little bicep curl and little bending and straightening of that back knee. Nice. Good, so as you really think about opening up and pressing out with that back knee to get the full stretch there. Good. And then we're going to lower that back heel. So this is called Warrior One. So having the back heel lifted is called a crescent lunge or high lunge in a yoga class. And this would be called a Warrior One or Virabhadrasana One. Good. So we're going to goal post these arms again and take those twists to the right. Nice. Good. So when you twist, think about pulling that belly button into the spine. Good. Take a few more here. Nice. Good. And then keep the arms where they are. Nice. And just alternate taking those, shoulder rolls. Good, and then hold on to the back of your chair and bring your left foot to meet your right. And we're just going to go ahead and stand in front of the seat of our chair here. Gonna take a drink if you need. Take one here. Good. And we're just going to actually just go ahead and turn so that you have room to bring a leg back. Good. So we're going to bring our left leg back. And we're just going to slowly come forward. Now the chair is right there. Good. Good. You can flex the foot and just turn those toes so that they're facing straight down towards the floor. Nice. Good. Maybe the right arm extends. Maybe even the left arm extends. Nice. And then come all the way up to stand. Nice. We're going to switch. We're going to do that here. So we're turning away from the chair. So the chair is on my right side. Good. I'm going to start to extend my right leg back as I start to tilt forward. Bottom leg can soften. Nice. Maybe the left arm extends forward. Good. Maybe the right arm extends forward. Nice. And then slowly lift up. Good. And that's the hardest thing that we're going to do today. Okay. So we're going to bring our right knee into our chest. Nice. And we're going to turn that foot out. And we're going to find a figure 4. Now the good news is we're going to be sitting down, but see if you can hover here just to get the stretch a little bit. And we're going to continue with this stretch. Good. And then we're going to come all the way down. So make sure you know exactly where the chair is. And then come to sit right in your figure 4. So right foot is flexed, or left foot if you're mirroring me. Nice. Good. And the right hand is gently going to come to the right thigh, just to the fleshy part, and just kind of press it out like you're trying to pull the flesh away from the bone. Good. If it feels okay, if you want more sensation, you can start to fold any amount. And then slowly lift up. Nice. Good. Maybe extending the the leg straight, and then bringing it down. Good. Inhale, extend the arms all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So you can use the chair, you can use the belly of the chair, the back of the chair, wherever you want to grab onto. I'm holding onto the side of the chair. Taking a breath, exhale, twisting any amount more. Good, and then slowly coming back to center. Inhale, extending the arms back up. And exhale, twisting the opposite direction. Breathing here, getting nice and tall. Exhale. Nice, coming back to center. Good, we're just gonna bring our belly to the thighs and hug those thighs, kind of like into your chest. So maybe holding onto opposite arms, releasing the head. Maybe just shaking it no and yes a few times. Good, and then releasing the arms down. We're gonna stand up one more time. If you want, you can stand right into a forward fold, or come all the way up to stand, which we're all gonna do. And then we're gonna take our left knee into our chest. Turn that knee out of whichever leg you didn't do. Find your figure 4 stretch. Maybe the arms extend. And we'll start to draw the hips back. Make sure you know where the chair is so that you sit on that and not the air. Good. And one side may be vastly different than the other. So my left side doesn't come as far down. That's fine. So I just acknowledge those differences in your body, those maybe slight imbalances, and no judgment. They're there for many, many reasons. And then maybe folding forward here, making sure that left foot stays flexed to protect the knee joint. Good, and then slowly lift up. Extend the leg and place it down. Nice, take an inhale, lifting the arms all the way up. We're gonna twist to the left first this time. Good, and inhale here. Exhale. Good, inhale, arms rise. And exhale, twist in the other direction. Coming back to center. Good, arms open up like you're giving somebody a big hug. And exhale, fold, hugging in the thighs and our knees again. Maybe reaching for opposite elbows. Taking any movement with the head that feels good. Good, and then bringing your hands to the thighs. Separating the feet. Good. Pressing down through the thighs and then just dropping that left shoulder again, gazing over your right. And switch. Nice, coming to center. Good. And we're just going to, I would like to invite you actually to sit back in your chair for this is our final little rest, but ideally keeping the feet still on the floor just so you have that proprioceptive feedback. And you have that feeling of groundedness. And bring your hands either palms down on your lap or palms up. And just close the eyes here. And just breathe, returning to the breath. Returning to the inhaling through the nose and the exhaling through the mouth. So stay where you are. This reading is from 108 Shavasana themes. Empty yourself to truly find yourself. Empty yourself to find yourself. Empty yourself completely. Tilt the glass of the mind over until all your concerns spill out and away. Detach yourself from the persistent worrier, the inner critic, the small selves you believe to be your identity. Use your attention like scissors, snip away at the worldly attachments of I, me, and mine, which keep you tied up in so many knots. Empty yourself so completely, so fully, that all is left is spacious, open awareness, revealing your own eyes to themselves. Empty yourself to find yourself, and then fill yourself. So deepening the breath here. Open up the mouth, release. Inhale, let. Exhale. Bringing the hands to heart center if you wish. Lokasana Sukino Bhavantu. May all living things be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, actions of our own life contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom from suffering. Bring the thumbs to the third eye. It is customary to say namaste. The light in me bows and honors the light in each and every one. Thank you guys. I don't know if there were any questions, but I have time for them if you have any, or if you want to, I guess, put them in the chat box, and then I suppose Andrew can let me know if there's any in there, if I can see them. I don't know. Okay, no, I don't see anything in the chat box. Okay, so I don't know of any places that actually do chair yoga. I teach a gentle flow Friday nights at our gym, but we don't use a chair, just use the floor, mat, wall, blocks, things like that. And then the other studio that I teach at is, like I said, it's a heated power studio. So it's all, yeah. So it's a good flex though. Okay, well, I thank everyone for attending and taking their lunch hour to do yoga with me. Thanks.
And we may have a question coming in. Give me one moment.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I used to teach chair yoga at a senior center in Newark, but it was a long time ago.
Find that they responded well to it.
Mm-hmm. I was really only a couple people that I had, a couple seniors at that particular residential building. So you could probably find a lot of chair yoga online, but
yeah,
it's not really something offered too much at the studios.
Somebody just wanted to say thanks, and they enjoyed it very much. So.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Samantha, again for another fantastic session. Everybody be safe, be well, and hopefully we'll see you soon.